Right, we're gonna watch Nadia here, aka Lobby Ahead. She's playing as the best civilization in the game, the Portuguese. Gonna have to watch and see how her game plays out there. Is it interesting matchup? Incas against Portuguese. Both civs are kind of. If I put music here, does that also show up in Capture Age? No. Sound. How do I make music show up in the game? You could hear it, yeah, but not when I'm here. You only hear it when I'm actually in the actual game. Like now I'm in the actual game. Now you hear music. But now I'm in Capture Age. Alright, let's watch. We'll watch from... do you guys prefer with Fog of War? So she's currently just kind of walling off her normal Dark Age. Usual stuff. Capture just now music, okay. This seems like a very natural place to wall off, right? Secure the front side. You could potentially think about a wall here and here. Maybe on the top side as well. Just secure the left side. Right side at the moment, considering the edge of the map is up here. You could also easily do a wall there and there. So you guys are quite a simple map to wall off at the moment. Red lure deer, wall luring a boar. 3 bills on wood implies sort of a faster fuel age approach. This was a house builder, which is kind of the point where you start your wall off. This is kind of a nothing house, which doesn't initiate a wall or anything. It's just a house, which is obviously completely fine. But normally you see most pros, and if there's a map like this, if you have a map like this that you've already scouted a fair bit of, you will go and like start your wall off here. That will be like your first house to initiate the wall off that will complete across the whole situation here. So she's kind of going more for a, which seems to be like a wall off that will go like this to the TC. I just have to tell you guys how important walling is in the game. If you don't understand the importance of walling in Age of Empires, it's pretty much game winning or game losing. It's just such an important part of the game right now that if you don't wall correctly or at all, you just pretty much putting yourself out there to lose. As simple as that. I think the deer lure reset timer should be longer than 2 seconds, so we're all less legged out. Is it actually 2 seconds? I didn't know there was an actual timer for that. But yes, it should probably be longer to help out. Walling is so much work though. It is, but I mean like walling in general, like when you watch a game, you can probably look at this and you'll be like, well, this is obvious. You wall there, 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 and there, right? That's a super obvious wall. But when you're actually playing yourself, you can easily end up walling like this to there, maybe wall from like there, 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 and then like MBL would wall like this. Like this is MBL space, right? That's MBL space. Let's put my base. I would wall probably like this, this, or wall there, and then there. That's my way. So purple is me, yellow is MBL, and doubt is black. Yeah. Well, so far she's moved 5 vills to wood now. It's kind of a natural transition to a few extra villagers on wood as you transition to castle edge. This looks like a man at arms opening to me so far. But she's not committing on a second lumber camp and only 6 on wood. So barracks coming up now. Very likely to be man at arms. And yeah, it looks like she's going for the wall up there, right? Where we kind of would prefer to see her wall the edge. And kind of also close, like, let's say you wall like this, right? You wall here. Sorry, let me just... Shit. You wall there. And say you wall here and here. You pretty much give your opponent all of this area to attack you from, right? Now the opponent has all of this area to shoot arrows over your walls and hit your economy. Villages under farms, on the TCs. All of this is rangeable by enemy units, right? So that's why you rather want to have wall there, which means when the arrows come in, they can only hit like there, right? That's where the enemy can hit you. And do you have farms there? No. Your farms are here. Right? Your farms are there, maybe somewhere around the mill, and that cannot be hit when you have walls out there. Right? So that's why I would prefer more like this wall. I keep pointing, I probably overstate it or say it a little bit too many times, but it's fine, you guys will survive. Range coming up here as well, so this actually doesn't really want to commit fully on a wall. It's just still playing a little bit of an open kind of adaptive approach. Is villager mistakenly with the army, or is that on purpose? Okay, it was a mistake, so she's come back. Now, issue as well for Lavia is that she doesn't have any scouting intel, right? So, she currently is 100% reacting. Luckily, Melkor is attacking the wall here, so she will now know where he is. And yeah, I like the way she's doing the wall on the side. That's exactly how we like it. And yeah, she's bringing the villager with the... Maybe she has her on the control group by accident. Or she actually mean to pull it there to have some extra damage output. It could be both. Could be both. Yeah, kind of just trading off infantry here, but yeah. You always prefer to keep your scout alive because the militia or men-at-arms kind of just trade off against each other. So the one who has the eagle or scout alive usually is the one who came out on top in the transition here. So we have an archer now transition for Nadia. Playing archer as Portuguese makes sense. You have the gold discount. And yeah. Is there a hole here still? I have a very strong suspicious feeling that there might be a hole there still. Unless there's a tree right behind there. I'm not sure why that villager is called on that side. So the big issue for... I say it's a big issue. It's still early in the game, so she can feel comfortable being aggressive here, sending some units forward. But again, there's no fletching here. And if any army came in now from this angle, she would lose and have so many resources exposed, right? That would be quite an awkward situation for her. But yeah, she wants to apply the pressure, which fair dues. She can do that with her opening. But there is also a chance that she gets caught off guard. But yeah, now she sees the army, so she knows that the army is behind. And she probably should realize as well that there is not really any damage to be done now. Taking some hits from the men-at-arms, which should never happen here in Green's position. Which is also allowing Nadia to be a little bit active with her archers. But at this point, the numbers are too high that she should just fall back, keep those archers alive, not try to do anything. Probably just sacrifice this man-at-arm, make this man-at-arm attack the archers, and then those two archers can get safely home. But yeah, Melkor playing passively here, just staying at home as he's getting fletching now. There's the blacksmith from Nadia as well. Now this is, again, this... I keep mentioning about the shape, the structure of all the walling, right? Again, she's going for a wall there. Now this angle here is completely open, right? Which is fine. But look at the left side. Her main resources are here. It's the gold, it's her wood. Those are the most crucial resources of her right now. And that's the only part that is not walled. Now she is active on the map, so she has kind of a generally a decent idea of where the army of Melkor is. But imagine if Melkor was actually moving out with archers right now. Where would he go? Most likely he's coming from this angle, right? So it's very high risk. You have to also prioritize where and when you wall, right? She secured the areas that aren't the most dangerous areas for her. Yeah, she also plugged in the hole now, so that's good on her. Melkor, if we look, he is completely walled. Perfect walls in my opinion. This is exactly how I would have walled it. Yeah, I like that. Very nicely walled. But also, like, when you are fully walled in this case, as Melkor is, that's when you should feel comfortable trying to attack. And as we can see, Melkor, fully walled almost. He feels fine, so he goes to attack. Where does he attack? The one spot where Nadia is not walled. The one spot where, if we go to his point of view, he knows gold, he knows wood. Where do you attack? obviously, you come in there. And then Nadia now sees it, and yeah, she's gonna be caught off guard. She does have a skirmisher though, but no armor. And now suddenly panic is loose, right? She's on the other side of the map hitting walls, while he is in her base causing idle time. Killed an archer, woodline is idle, gold is off. She does have enough units to the point where she should be fine and not take too much damage. But still, this is like on high level, like the top level, this is pretty much a game losing error. Or prioritization error, right? If you want to say it like that. You see Melkor's point of view. What exactly do you want to see from his point of view? He's actually committing in here. Now there's still no armor on these skirms. They don't. The archers can still kill them, but yeah, Melkor on the way to cast Slage as well here. And that's like if Nadia was walled on the left side, her eco would have been way more stable as well, and maybe cast Slage would have been an option for her as well. Second range here for Melkor as well, and also 3 of the units forward here are skirms. They're not damage dealing units. There's only 1 archer left as well, so villagers could easily wall behind now and so forth. Cast your own games to get different perspective. Not really sure if me casting my own games would make sense. Yeah, now the casting time is going to be deadly here for Melkor. You can just look at the idle eco time, right? 14 minutes to 4:45. And that is all due to this part here not being walled earlier. Like in that situation, in her shoes, you kind of have to ask yourself, how can I lose this game now? The opening was kind of equal. And she was just being too active on the map with her army without actually pressuring anything. And that means she also didn't have army at home. And when you're not walled at home in that case, it can easily be a game-losing situation, right? Now it's going to be roughly a 2-minute difference here. So Melkor has a time window here where he could do a lot of damage, triple range even for him. By no means is this game over. Melkor has a solid lead, but it's just absolutely not over yet. Lavihead also has the best 7 in the game, so obviously that's quite a big time. And what's a good time to start walling? It will very much depend on what civ you are playing, what civ he is playing, and or what your opponent is doing, right? And what you are doing, right? If you want to go scouts, you can probably get away with like very small walls around resources and then wall bigger later because you want to wait. You just want activity on the map with your scouts. But if you're going for a fast castle, obviously you want to wall quite early. If you're going for an arms opening, you probably want to also kind of semi-wall your resources quite early, not get caught off guard by a drush or anything like that. Melkor being a bit passive here. He has a. This is when those crossbows, honestly, should have been here already. The most deadly timing is when you reach your enemy base, is when the upgrades should kick in. And he knew that the army from Lavihead wasn't scary, right? So what he should have done was this army should have already been across the map. Because if that army was here half a minute ago, Lavihead is dead, right? Simple as that. Do you have a new microphone? We do not have a new microphone. Do I sound different? What would you make a little angle in Lavi's left wall? What do you mean? Like when I say like this? It's pretty much because you want to give more of a surface area for your gold, right? To be protected. If the wall is there, right? You can be hit from this area by archers. However, if the wall is here, the archers don't reach you from outside the wall, right? So it's about providing an extra layer of safety for your units, pretty much. Yeah, Melkor playing very passive here. He had the time window to do a lot of damage here, but he didn't actually go for it. So, yeah. Dropping 3 TC, so doing a very macro-heavy approach. Going for economy. How is walling even more? I mean, you can also go for like this wall and that wall. But that's very big investment early in the game. You don't really want to do that. I like what she's doing now, which is pretty much placing one skirm as a lookout on the left side. Looks like she wants to do a TC here with those villagers as well. But yeah, she's definitely going to feel like she is behind a little bit. So she might feel like she has to do damage. Numbers definitely in favor of her. She has 15 units on here, but only 8 from Melkor. This is very confusing for me because Melkor went 3 range crossbow, yet he didn't go aggressive at all with an earlier castlage timing. I guarantee you, every high, like, let's say, Hera Leary, even doubt, if he went 3 range crossbow with a 40-second castlage advantage, those, trust me, there's activity. Crossbows are here the whole game, pressuring. There's gonna be all the time. You're gonna not have any time to rest in that case. Full activity from early castlage. Dismounted Chiropractor, thank you for the 9 months writing stuff. Thank you. Second mining camp. So is this, does anyone know if this is Melkor, like Melkor Fëanor, you know, that Melkor? Does anyone know? Or if this is also like a random Melkor? Random Melkor. No, not that one? Okay. Another one. Okay, gotcha. So I like what she's doing now. 2 TC. She's probably going to drop a 3rd TC here. And she's dropping a forward Seed Workshop as well. So she realizes that she's behind. She knows she has to do the pressure. This is a very good call on her end. Just sit on the hill, get that Seed Workshop up, and then try to apply the pressure. Probably when you want to go and you feel like you're behind and you kind of need to do the damage. Yeah, again, this is also a bit sloppy, right? You shouldn't lose this villager like this. You have the hill. Like, it makes sense to sit here with your army. That's the top of the hill. But you have the hill from there and upwards, right? Just this... I'm not really commenting on the fight here. They're kind of just trading equally. Just the fact that losing that villager on this Seed Workshop is gonna slow down her push so much. So, I mean, she gets the same damage. Oh god. Same damage from anywhere there against units that are down here as she would if she's sitting up on that hill, right? So, bit of a misjudgment there. Obviously, this is, again, this is over critical and over specific, if that makes sense. But I think it makes sense to point those things out. It's almost a 20 village lead, so she had Nadia or Lavihead here definitely has to put the pressure on, and there you go. Mangonel in this situation as well, where you know that this is like, you both have similar army numbers and such, getting an upgrade like ballistics is just so important. We see both of them have it, so good on them. Okay. Macro seems fairly solid behind. Wood upgrade, horse collar, that's fine. Villager count is a bit closer. 15-16, not too bad. There's wheelbarrow as well for Lavihead that Melkor does not have. But the big number difference you can see is a good way to tell how good a player is doing in a game is often to look at the amount of villagers on food. That's kind of when you know how the economy situation is looking. And as we see here, 24 for Melkor, 19 for Lavihead. Actually, even more for Melkor. Got some idols now. That kind of tells you a tale of how far ahead he is right now. Crucial moment right now. This could be mangonels on both sides. So even guard tower defense from Melkor, which is actually a really good decision when you know the pressure is coming in. Guard towers, mangonels cannot really attack guard towers unless you have like 5. So that is a very good call from Melkor. I have to see how Nadia or Lavihead adapts to this. She is macroing very nicely behind this though, I have to say. Catching up in villager count a little bit. Economy looks fairly nicely balanced. Even having enough stone for a castle soon. So, I mean, if you look at the crucial areas of this map, that's a hill, there's a hill, there's a hill. All of those hills are in the middle of the map. They are in an angle that can attack Melkor from uphill. Those are going to be the crucial areas in this game. And Lavi has all the map control at the moment. So if she can get a castle on, for example, this hill, that would be actually fantastic for her. And it will still give her a fighting chance in this game. Ooh, Mangonel's got to be careful. There we go, the first Mangonel fight. Just a one... actually, Nadia wins this fight. She had the hill advantage there, so very good for her. Breaking through here as well, but there's a 2 crossbows and a Mangonel, so she'll be safe there. I like the pressure she's putting on here. Melkor is definitely feeling like the pressure. He's not. Look at the economy. He has 26 villagers currently moving to make new lumber camps. So the economy for Lavihead actually is more stable, even though she is behind the villager numbers. So that is a very also better balanced. So I think she's in a really good spot still, all things considered. Moinsons, thanks for the prime there. Van de Werb, thank you for the 33 months. AOK, AOQuack, thanks for the 6 months. AB Marine, thank you for the 6. Castle on the middle hill. This makes sense to be the first castle, but she really wants a second castle on this hill as well. For sure. Yeah. I think you could have even made an argument for deleting this house to get a little bit more forward of a castle, but that's obviously a completely good and fine castle as well. Imperial Age as well on the way for Lavihead, so I think this also shows that even though a guy has a better economy, having the map control, having the pressure is often a better situation still. Gets out of there without a single loss, that's very nice. Like right now, even though Melkor has 25 more villagers, I would still prefer Lavihead's position. Simply because of initiative, map control, and yeah, just having the presence in the game, right? Melkor has 15 units to 43. It's 3 times the military here for Lavihead. Okay, Mangonel micro here is going to be important. Okay, Melkor gets 1 hit. And we'll have to see the micro now. Is there any target fire happening here? Ooh, nicely done by Lavihead. Melkor was target firing, but Lavihead did dodge that. Got 1 skirmisher in there. Maybe she should have done just even ran in there. Might have lost 3 or 4 crossbows, but could have done a lot of damage there. Melkor with a ton of resources right now, but still hasn't clicked up. All theses are idle as well. Melkor is AFK. Okay, there we go. Imperial Age coming in. Mangonel trace, nice target fire there. Let's see if he gets another shot. Does not. But yeah, Melkor really needs to start army production, right? Doesn't help to have 20 villagers more, unless you're actually putting that into something. And Eagle Warriors seems to be the choice. So for Nadia now, sorry, I keep calling you Nadia. Red player is Lavihead. She's known or called, her name is Nadia. Therefore I say Nadia sometimes, you know. The Imperial is in, but she has to make a... She has a shit ton of crossbows, right? 49 crossbows. So it makes sense. Get Arbalest, get Bracer, okay. But I think that's where you stop crossbow production, right? Because you don't know what transition Melkor is making. He is Incas, so you can think there might be eagles coming. So this is probably, I should stop making crossbows after this and rather think about a counter unit or a supplemental army to my crossbow numbers, right? So what you can think then is potentially a light cab, maybe even cavalier, maybe make a switch to Orion guns, maybe even go for hand cannoneers. Joachim. So that's kind of what Lavihead has to figure out now. She has to already think about the follow-up, right? We pause the game now. Obviously, she's still in a great spot. She has massive army numbers. She's about to put on a lot of pressure. But behind this, there has to, doesn't have to. There should be a transition already. There should be focus on preparing the next step in case this army gets cleaned up, right? Because you can expect, let's say green hits Imp, gets Eagles, cleans up the Arbalest. There needs to be a transition ready to deal with what is a super hard counter to Arbalest, which is the Eagles. It's a really nice hit there as well, cleaning up everything in 1 hit. The fact that the Mangonel died means that it actually got a bonus damage there. Melkor also hasn't dropped the castle yet, so there's still a lot of room for Lavihead to do a lot of damage before the Eagles even become reality. And now she sees the Eagles as well, so she can confirm what is happening. And let me just make sure what's the MTC. Okay, that's the MTC. It's gonna hit Imp now. And now it's at the point, right? Okay, Nadia, you know Eagles are on the map. He's Imperial Age. Elite Eagles very likely on the way. It is queued up right now. It's queued up behind this Eagle Warrior. Alright, so how do you deal with this? Once there's like 30 Eagles, that's gonna clean up all the Arbalest. Armor upgrades on the way. If you only had... what's it called now? It was called Couriers. Now it's called fabric shields. Something. If you had that as well, it would be even better. There you can see long swordsman is her decision, which is not a bad decision, but she probably needs to fix up her economy a little bit more. The food income is not high enough yet for champion to be a clean counter. I really like this move, just cleaning up the whole production here of the barracks. As the eagle pop and they turn into elite eagles 10 seconds as well until the last armor upgrade is in. And this is the issue where Nadia might just get completely cleaned up by the eagles. And now she is preparing a switch. So she might... Oh, nice surround here by Melkor. Really nicely the way he got the surround up there. And suddenly Laviet is going to lose her whole army. And suddenly she's going to be behind the military, behind the villagers. And she's making a unit that is also countered by arbalists or slingers, which Incas both have access to both. That's also something to keep in mind when you make a tech switch. You want to have a military that doesn't get easily countered again. There's a big chance this still works, but in my opinion, light cavalier would have probably made more sense, all things considered. And there we go, there's the follow-up castle from Nadia. This castle, again, if you look at the resources, she could have placed this castle a long time ago. I like the way she's cleaning, securing her base right now. This house has to be built. Okay, luckily the villager went there. Very awkward situation now for Laviet. Now she's still in a good spot, map control wise. Oh, there's a hole. There was a hole there. Oh, that's gonna cause a lot of trouble. 15 eagles into your economy. Big trouble. She still has 900 stone, right? This castle should have already been up. Should have been already a castle there, or even a castle inside her economy somewhere. She had all the time in the world to prepare for the next step, right? Yeah, organ guns would have also been an option, but she never had the castles, right? And now she's making a slow unit in champions, which are expensive to upgrade and obviously slow as well. And they also get countered by arbalists/slingers. So I feel like she's putting herself in a bad army composition long term here. Now map control is still fantastic. Relics, she has 3-0 relics. So economically she's still in an okay spot. And situation, like map situation wise, she's still in an okay spot. But she's about to get raided to death. Lose a lot of villagers to raid. She's down to 91 villagers. And yeah, just have to, that's what I was pointing out, right? The whole prepare for a transition as you attack, right? There was only one way green could defend what was happening, and that was eagles. So the transition to already defending against eagles had to be there, had to be happening as she was starting to attack. Now, in a lot of situations, her attack would have also just killed green, where this, what we're seeing right now, wouldn't even happen. So you can't fault her for that decision either. But when you are making a all-in quotes play like that, the transition has to happen as you do it. Yeah, the issue right now is that she's down to 70 villagers, 69 nice villagers, and she's still being raided. Now she's gonna try to force the issue, which is kind of what she has to do. She still has 20 more military than Melkor, so she still has a stronger standing army. The issue for her right now is that the longer the game goes, the bigger the difference is going to become. Red is dead, right? Not dead. These arbalists also don't have bracer yet. This is a perfect time for Nadia to actually attack. But yeah, once the meat shield is gone, those eagles again just clean house. And yeah, I think Lavihead sitting on 100 population here is simply dead. And I think she might even call the GG here.
Portuguese don't have squires. Unrelated question, when to go 2 on wood versus 3 on wood in a scout rush build? On what does it depend?
I'll address your question in a second here. I would expect Lavihead to actually resign here because she's down to 100 pop and economy is... I mean, she still has a solid situation regarding castles and such, but yeah. Double the population from Melkor. Score lead is getting out of hand, and yeah. I think this was just error of judgment in transition, right? Fetorias don't recover you like that. They're simply not good enough. But yeah, it would be an option, right? I think obviously well done to Melkor here. But as we were watching kind of from Lavihead's perspective, I still think the right transition was stable, right? You have mobility, you have units that can actually deal with eagles or be a good meat shield for eagles. And that's kind of what she needed here. Now it's a really uphill battle. We'll see the next Lavihead game to see if she makes the same mistake. Very likely that the next game is going to be 100% different to this game. I don't think you can be like, can we watch the next game to see if she makes the same mistake? That's not really how the game plays out. Siege Ram from Melkor here as well. He has 5 rams prepared. It's going to be really hard for Lavihead to actually survive this next push. If possible at all. Yeah, Green can even just go full Arbalest, right? Arbalest alone would counter everything Lavihead has. What game is this? It's just a random rank game. Yeah, again, it all just comes down to the... So the natural thing here, which was happening was, again, Lavihead, she probably knew she was behind in economy, but she got to imp faster, so she got to put the pressure on, right? And she had a really nice position with the hill here, right? And she attacks from this angle into his base. Now, she had 50 Arbalest, right? And you have to put yourself in her shoes and think, how do I not win this game from here? The only way she was losing that game was eagles cleaning her up. She got into this area, started cleaning up some buildings, and that's when she saw the eagles. That's when she started dropping more barracks. Probably a little bit earlier, actually. Maybe not, I don't remember. But that's when she started dropping more barracks. That's when she started doing upgrades, long swords, whatever, this and that. But yeah, it's a little bit too late, and it puts her in the spot where if she gets cleaned up, she's dead. And if she doesn't get cleaned up, she will have to fall back and wait for a mass. And her mass, she has no mobility, which means eagles have a field play, right? They can go raid from left to right. You can come in the economy from both sides, right? And Nadia, to survive, like these are her holding positions, right? She has the hill there, right? Those are the key areas in this game. And eagles are never gonna be pushing up here, right? They're not gonna be like, oh, I want to fight in this one spot and fight uphill and push you. No, they're obviously gonna run around and raid the economy. And what does Nadia have to do? She has to send military home from all the hills to defend. And even that is, she probably loses 20-30 villagers. And that's when also Melkor makes the transition to the point where suddenly siege rams and everything comes in and takes over this hill again. So I think it just simply shows that champion, no matter what, probably was the wrong transition here. Either way. And that's probably what cost her the game at this point. A single unit always loses. Not true, but can happen, yes. Statistics, economy should be way better for green. Yeah, quite a lot better here. Lavihead had a timing window there where she did good damage, but she needed to have a follow-up to that, and that simply wasn't there.